All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a huge idea in education. How do we actually figure out what students can do with what they've learned, not just what they can remember for a test? We're going to move way beyond the bubble sheet and into the really exciting world of performance tasks. So let's just start with this question right here, because it's a big one. We're always told that what matters is what you can do with your knowledge, right? But if you think about it, how many of our tests actually measure that? That gap right there, that's what we're jumping into today. This slide just nails the difference. On one side, you've got knowing. This is pure recall. Can you list some facts? Can you define a term? That's all about memory. But then look at the other side, doing. This is application. This is where it gets interesting. Can you take what you know about history and actually use it to understand what's happening in the news today? Can you take that science knowledge and design a real garden? It's a whole different ballgame, a much, much deeper level of understanding. So, how do we build that bridge from just knowing something to actually doing something with it? Well, the solution, and the whole point of this explainer, is something called performance tasks. And a performance task is pretty much what it sounds like. It's an assessment where students have to perform. They have to create something, solve a complex problem, complete a task. It's not about circling A, B, or C. It's about demonstrating what you know in a situation that feels like, the real world. Okay, so not all tasks are created equal, right? What's the secret sauce that separates a simple little activity from what we call a truly rich performance task? Let's break down the anatomy of one. So a really rich task has a few key ingredients. First, it forces you to apply what you know, not just spit it back out. It's also open-ended, which means there's no single right answer, leaving all sorts of room for creativity. It drops you into an authentic, real-world scenario. And maybe the most important part, it shows that a student can take their learning and transfer it to a totally new situation, a lot of times pulling in skills from different subjects all at once. This right here, this is the core principle. If you take away just one thing, let it be this. Performance tasks demand application. The whole point is to see that learning in action, not just collecting dust in someone's brain. So what level of thinking are we actually trying to hit with these things? Well, in the world of education, there's a framework called Webb's depth of knowledge. And for these rich performance tasks, there's kind of a magic number we're aiming for, and that number is 3. So what's so special about level 3? It's all about strategic thinking. This is where students have to go beyond the information that's just handed to them. They have to connect the dots, solve problems, and, this is huge, back up their answers with real evidence. And notice how this lines up perfectly with those characteristics we just talked about. There's often more than one way to get to the solution, and the how and why you got there is just as important as the answer itself. Okay, so that's the theory. That's the what and the why. But what about the how? How do you actually sit down and build one of these tasks? Well, lucky for us, there's an awesome framework for that called GRASPS, and it gives us a perfect blueprint to follow. GRASPS is just a handy acronym that walks you through all the essential pieces. You start with a real-world goal. Then you give the student a meaningful role to play. You define an authentic audience for their work, put it all into a realistic situation, and you're crystal clear about what product or performance they need to create. And finally, you lay out the standards for success, the rules of the game. Let's make this real. Imagine this. The goal is to help foreign exchange students understand Albai's history. Your role? Your tour planner. The audience? The students themselves. The situation is a 4-day trip that needs a full plan. And the product, an itinerary, a map, and a budget. See how that simple structure creates this really compelling real-world challenge? It's not a worksheet anymore, it's a mission. Now, creating a great task, that's half the battle. But how do you evaluate the work fairly and consistently? And how do you do it in a way that actually gives useful feedback? Well, this is where our secret weapon comes in, the rubric. Rubrics basically come in 2 main flavors. You've got your holistic rubric, which gives 1 overall score. It's a big picture judgment, great for a quick summary. Then you've got analytic rubrics. Now these break the work down into different parts, like organization or use of evidence, and score each one on its own. This is absolutely fantastic for giving specific, targeted feedback. And you can see the difference clear as day right here. On the left, that holistic rubric just gives you 1 overall score, exemplary, proficient, whatever it may be. But look at the analytic one on the right. It's got separate rows for quality of information, critical thinking, collaboration. It gives you a much clearer roadmap of where a student is shining and where they might need a little help. What's so amazing is just how versatile rubrics are. I mean, they can assess a really complex process, like the step-by-step logic a student uses to tackle a tough math problem. They can be used to dig into all the nuances of persuasive writing. Looking at the strength of the argument, the organization, all that good stuff. And get this, they can even help us measure those really critical but often hard to grade soft skills, like how well you participate in a team, your level of collaboration, your sense of responsibility, the stuff that really matters out in the world. So, okay, why go through all this trouble? Why design these detailed tasks and rubrics? What's the real-world payoff here? It matters because these performance tasks are the perfect tool for both developing and assessing the skills that are absolutely essential in the 21st century. You've heard with them the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creative thinking. These aren't just buzzwords, they're what students truly need to navigate the future. So, the bottom line is this. When we shift our focus to performance tasks, we're making a fundamental change in our goals. We stop preparing students just for the next test, and we start preparing them for the messy, complex, and amazing world that's waiting for them. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If our assessments only ever ask what students can remember, how will we ever truly know what they are capable of creating, solving, and achieving? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.